Hello and welcome to my modded Grand Prix 2 career mode, driving as the fictional Franz Bermbach for the Brabham team. Today we have round 4 of the season, it's the Mexican Grand Prix. Let's check out the news whilst we enjoy some footage from pre-qualifying. After a string of poor performances and the loss of Honda backing, Nakajima has been shown the door and is out of Lotus. He is to be replaced by Martin Donnelly. Donnelly is a driver who has been testing for the Arrows team this season, but he's jumped at this opportunity to prove himself. The tensions are rising between Prost and Senna at McLaren after the Brazilian spun his teammate in Monaco. This left Prost furious, and I imagine it'll only get more heated as the season progresses. With McLaren stumbling, Ferrari secured victory in Monaco, and they genuinely believe that the title is there to be won this season, but few can share the Italians' optimism. On the topic of Italians, Riccardo Patrese was disqualified from the Monaco Grand Prix due to his car being underweight. It's the first time this season that Patrese has been classified outside of the podium places. Philippe Alliot was positive after making his first race start of the season in Monaco, despite the retirement, and fellow countryman Jean Alesi was delighted after securing his first points in Formula 1. It will be a tense rookie battle between himself and Herbert this year. Williams bring a huge upgrade to the Mexican Grand Prix as they aim to bounce back after Patrese's disqualification. We also see a small upgrade for March with a new rear wing. Rial have massively improved their car in qualifying trim as they hope to make it out of pre-qualifying for once. Fellow backmarkers Eurobrun also bring an upgrade with a revised body design, but it's reportedly not that big a step. Both Benetton and Tyrrell have also brought upgrades this weekend. Tyrrell in particular will be one to watch, who have reportedly saved 10 kilograms of weight. And that's all for the news. And this is my laps in pre-qualifying. A 14.9 on that lap from Bermbach. As we go out later on in the session, we need a stronger time because right now we're only in 10th position and our final run was much improved. It was a 13.7 and it's 4th place in pre-qualifying. And these are the results of that session. Bertrand Gachot once again topping the pre-qualifying session ahead of my teammate Martin Brundle. The Cesaris in 3rd, then it's Bermbach. Dana in that upgraded Rial in 5th ahead of Johansson. And Weidler in the 2nd Rial in 7th place with Ginzani, Caffi and Lorini rounding out the top 10. On to 11th place and it's Joachim Winkelhock ahead of Bernd Schneider, Gabriel Tarquini, Aguri Suzuki. Then it's the two Colognis with no pace this weekend, Roberto Moreno and Pierre-Henri Raffinel. And Gregor Wojtek in the upgraded Eurobun, still miles off the pace and in last place. The average time means Onyx top the session, Brabham in 2nd, and Rial make it through to the main qualifying session at the expense of Dallara by just about a 10th of a second in those average times. Osella pretty close as well to getting through. And of course the rest of the team's knocked out as we move on to the main qualifying session in a very sunny Mexico City. And this is Bermbach's first lap on the board. It's going to be a 14.9. We know he can go much quicker than that. And on the second lap, he gets blocked by the Rial there, which is not ideal. And he goes across the line to set a 14.3. Still an improvement, but lots of time to be found on the circuit. The next lap is slightly better, a 13.4, but we're aiming for the 112s. So enjoy Bermbach's fastest lap in qualifying. Well, he had to do some defending in that final sector from the speedy Ayrton Senna behind, but Bermbach out of the final corner as the qualifying session comes to a close. It's a 12.894, fantastic lap. Well, fantastic, at least he beats his teammate Berger though on pole position ahead of Ayrton Senna. The upgraded Williams pair of Boutsen and Patrese 3rd and 4th. And then we have Nigel Mansell, the previous race winner. PK up in 6th, looking to score his first points of the year. Then it's Prost, Warwick, Herbert and debutant Martin Donnelly in 10th place. That's so much better than what Nakajima was doing in the same car. John Alesi in 11th ahead of Chiva, Palmer, Capelli and Johansson, with Franz Bermbach just ahead of his teammate Martin Brundle by less than a tenth of a second. The Brabhams so closely matched this year in qualifying trim. Alessandro Nannini, Gasho and Martini round out the top 20. Then it's Gugelmin, Rene Arnoux, Luis Peresala, Christian Danner and Volker Weidler, both Reals, making it onto the grid. And Olivier Grilard set to make his F1 debut here, his first race start in 26th. Both LaRouche drivers of Bernard and Alio knocked out, as they so often are this year. And here we are, lining up on the grid. Those are the lights in front of the drivers. And when they extinguish, the 1989 Mexican Grand Prix is underway. A slow reaction from Bermbach, who then moves over to the right-hand side. And contact made between Bermbach and one of the Onyxes there. I think it was Stefan Johansson as we run down towards turn 1. Luckily, no damage done to the car. And there's a Minardi up there. I think it's Peresala making huge moves. Grilard also making a move past Bermbach, as Bermbach taking it very cautiously. He's shook up after that incident on the run down towards turn 1. It wasn't even through a corner. It's almost impossible to make a decent start and a clean start on this game, it seems. That's the incident replay with Bermbach. Unfortunately, that happening. On the exit of the final corner as we start lap 2, that's Gugelmin to the inside. And that's Bermbach to the outside. Grilard in the middle. It's 3 wide and Bermbach with the overspeed after a brilliant exit out the final corner. Moves up 2 places and gets them both. Grilard looking to fight back into the braking zone. Can't quite do it. And that is a nice bit of action to showcase in front of the crowd here. The TV cameras picking it up well as 3 wide action on lap 2 here. Lap 3 though, and it's Boutsen leading the race now. He's ahead of Ayrton Senna. Riccardo Patrese is also making moves through the grid, and so is Mansell. Berger though, the pole sitter, having a terrible start. He's all the way down in 5th position right now, ahead of Alain Prost. Then it's Herbert, Alesi, Palmer and Nelson Piquet having a terrible start. He started up in 6th. He's looking to score points today, but right now he's running down in 10th position. As lap 3, that is an engine failure for one of the cars in front. I think that's Ivan Capelli's March slowing down, and this is really causing havoc in the middle sector as we're all trying to make our way through. It's hard to know where you can actually fit your car through without making contact with another driver. Maybe there as we scythe our way past the Minardi. We're side by side with the Minardi and ahead. Which, oh, we're going to go left, are we? We'll go to the left-hand side for the Peraltada. And around the outside of Capelli, there's a Minardi on our inside, which I had no idea about at the time. But we'll take a replay to see what happened. It was essentially Hakkinen and Schumacher Spa 2000. But in this case, Hakkinen did not pull off the move. Schumacher got it round the outside. Schumacher being Bermbach. They're both German, I suppose, so that works. Capelli, though, engine failure. He is out of this race. And that is Bertrand Gachot in the Onyx right in front of Bermbach. And what an exit Bermbach's got off the Peraltada. He pulls side by side with the Onyx driver. That's Gachot on the left, Bermbach on the right. But it seems the Onyx has slightly better straight line speed down towards the braking zone. And Bermbach out of the race, crashing into the wall at 300 kilometers an hour. I don't know. I think Gachot moved across. He did! Gachot moved across Bermbach. You cannot do that. An incredibly huge shunt into the concrete barrier on the exit of the first corner. And Bermbach taking flight. And unfortunately, taking his Brabham out of this race. I will not be surprised to see a huge penalty, and it is a 25-second time penalty for Gachot for moving across. And we can only hope Bermbach is not seriously injured. Hopefully he's okay. And that's Warwick slowing down. Warwick's slowing down, and I think he is retiring from this Grand Prix. And that seems to be a gearbox issue for the British driver, who parks his car up there. As Riccardo Patrese's got past Thierry Boutsen out front, it's a Williams 1-2 with Patrese in the lead. Can Boutsen fight back? Well, that was an almighty crash from Franz Bermbach, and I really, really hope he's okay. Right into the concrete barriers on the exit of turn 1. And something might have to be done about the Onyx that caused that crash. Bertrand Gachot. So that's Volker Weidler versus Christian Danner down the main straight. The two Rials going wheel to wheel. Race director not picking the best of angles for this. But Weidler has made the move. He is up past his teammate and into 22nd place. As Boutsen already getting dropped by his teammate Patrese. And that's Johansson looking to the inside there. On 12th place, Jean Alesi, the upgraded Tyrrell today. But Alesi not really making any inroads with it so far. And Danner fighting back against his teammate down the main straight. The Rials go wheel to wheel. We look at Nelson Piquet, who's chasing down Johnny Herbert in 7th position. Herbert, the Benetton, also with an upgrade this weekend. And the Lotus driver, Nelson Piquet, of course, has his new teammate today, Martin Donnelly, currently down in 11th position. And that's Piquet looking to the inside for the Perotada. And up the inside he goes. Johnny Herbert lets him go. And that is a move completed for the Brazilian. And Chiva's just made a move there on Jonathan Palmer for 9th position. As Patrese's lead on lap 14 is up to 2.2 ahead of teammate Boutsen. And now he is lapping the Rials, who of course are making their first start of the season. Danner down in 23rd. His teammate Weidler just ahead in 22nd. The news out of the Rial camp is their big upgrade for this weekend was solely focused on improving their qualifying performance. They've left nothing for their race performance, which explains why they are so far last. But of course, their main objective is just to qualify for the race, which they've done with both cars. And that's Perez Sala pulling off to the side of the circuit. And it's a transmission problem for Luis Perez Sala, who is now out of the Grand Prix. Race director really needs to work on the camera angles. That nose cam isn't doing us any favours. And is that René Arnoux slowing down as well? The Ligier, I think. Yeah, he's pulling off. He is retiring from the race. Not sure what the issue is at the moment. But the Ligier driver adds to the car park down at that corner. And he is yet another retirement. I think that's the 5th retirement of the Grand Prix. It was a transmission issue. Not the first time we've seen that today. I'm sure it won't be the last either. So at this stage of the race, we have Riccardo Patrese out in front. Thierry Boutsen, his teammate, makes it Williams 1-2. Senna completing the podium with Gerhard Berger, the pole sitter, in 4th place. Mansell and Prost 5th and 6th, followed by Piquet, Herbert, Chiva and Palmer rounding out the top 10. Martin Donnelly on debut is in 11th place ahead of Jean Alesi. Then we have Stefan Johansson and Martin Brundle with Alessandro Nannini only in 15th place, being outperformed by his teammate Johnny Herbert yet again. Gasho, Martini, Gugelmin, Grillard and Weidler complete the top 20. And that's a slow moving car next to the final corner. Is that an Onyx again? Not another failure for Onyx. Surely it's Stefan Johansson crawling down the main straight. And I believe the Swede is about to retire from this race. And yep, there we go. He pulls off to the side of the circuit where the exit of the pit lane is. And he adds to our list of retirements. It's a puncture that sees him out of this one. And that's smoke out of the back of... Who's that? It's Senna. Senna with an engine failure. Can you believe it? And Alain Prost is licking his lips seeing his teammate retire at the Perotada. As Prost goes up into 5th place, Ayrton Senna is going to pull over and retire from the Grand Prix. And there we go. You can see him on the right of the picture. An engine failure for Senna sees him out of another race this season. That's a look at Martin Donnelly on debut, just lapping the Rials, as Riccardo Patrese really making his way through the thick of it here. Pierluigi Martini in 15th place is lapped by the race leader. And Riccardo Patrese boxes from the race lead, so Thierry Boutsen is going to take the lead of the race. Gerhard Berger jumps up to 2nd place. And now we wait to see whether Williams and Patrese will rejoin. Pitting on lap 22, he is indicating that he's on a 2-stop strategy today. Right now he's fallen down to 6th position. And I think he's just rejoining onto the circuit now in 6th place. Lap 25, Boutsen all on his own out front. 6 seconds clear of Gerhard Berger. Alain Prost has made his way up to 3rd position now. The yellow flag out there. A driver has stopped in the first sector. It's Eddie Cheever. Eddie Cheever's off the circuit. Was that a mistake from the Arrows driver? As I think he's just waiting to rejoin the circuit. Cars speeding past at a rate of knots. I don't think he's going to be moving anytime soon. There he goes. Away he goes. And let's see what happened to Cheever. He was chasing down Martin Donnelly for 10th place. And he outbroke himself. He outbroke himself, has spun the car around into the gravel and into the wall, losing his front wing. And that's Jean Alesi pulling off to the side of the circuit. He is out of this race. It's a transmission issue. I did say it wasn't going to be the end of the transmission issues. There's yet another one to add to the collection today. And it's Nelson Piquet versus Nigel Mansell down the main straight. They go. This is for the final points position. Mansell defending that Ferrari engine, really offering him great straight line speed. And he's able to defend down the straight. And that's Weidler. Weidler pulling off to the side of the circuit in Rial's first retirement in their first start this season. It's an engine issue. The really high altitude here not doing them any favours. And he's out of the race. And that's Mansell trying to make a move on Johnny Herbert as Berger rejoins in the background. In 6th position, Mansell moves his way up into 4th and ahead of the British driver. Berger and Piquet now going side by side through turn 1. Berger on the fresh tyres, holds firm and remains in a points position. And you can't make this up, can you? McLaren are facing a double retirement here today. Alain Prost off at the side of the circuit, joining the multitude of cars who have retired at that corner today. And the Frenchman, who was hoping for a podium here today, retires with an engine issue. And up front, there has been a change in the lead. Riccardo Patrese was closing down on his teammate after his pit stop. And this is the battle between the two Williams drivers on the previous lap. He gets a run down towards the Peraltada, and I believe it's going to be an overtake for the lead. Let's have a look. Boutsen opens the door for Patrese, who sides his way up the inside to retake the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. So it's Patrese leading, lap 32 out of 69. We are just about to hit half race distance. It's looking really good for Williams this afternoon. And that is now half race distance in this Grand Prix. Patrese leads the way. Boutsen in second and Berger completing the podium. Then it's Mansell, Piquet and Palmer. Herbert's just been in for his second stop in the race and he's rejoined in 7th position ahead of Alessandro Nannini, his teammate, Martin Donnelly in 9th and Martin Brundle in 10th position. Chiva and Martini oh, there's a crash there. Chiva, he's hit Christian Danner off. What in the world is Eddie Chiva up to today? That's not the first time he's been involved in an incident today. He lost his front wing earlier on, and now he's just bumped Christian Danner clean off the road. Let's have a look what happened. Of course, Danner had blue flags, and Eddie Chiva, maybe just absolutely fed up with him, decides, right, move out of the way, mate. Throws him off the road and into the wall. Lucky for the Rial team, there seems to be no damage to that car. And Patrese ever so dominant this afternoon. He's 18.8 seconds clear of his teammate Thierry Boutsen right now. That's close to a pit stop gap already, should I say. With Gerhard Berger and Nigel Mansell, the two Ferraris, 3rd and 4th position. Jonathan Palmer could be on for a point today. He currently sits in 6th place, 7 seconds clear of Johnny Herbert. And I'd love to see Martin Donnelly get a good result today on his debut, as that is Piquet putting a lap, I believe, on Alessandro Nannini. And that's Martin Brundle versus Martin Donnelly. Brundle just got that position away from Donnelly, and now the Lotus driver looking to fight back. This is the battle for 8th position in this Grand Prix. A couple more retirements in front of them. Of course, this could end up being the points position. So it's the battle of the Martins, and it is quite important for this race. And that's Donnelly to the inside of Brundle to make the move. And on debut, he's showing the F1 paddock what he's got. And this is a quick note to say that your say in the comments is very important when it comes to rumours and speculation about driver moves, team changes, sponsorship, engine changes, whatever it is. Keep it coming in the comments because it really helps make this universe come alive. I'm going to use many of those ideas in the forthcoming seasons in this universe that we've created. So just please get involved. And Herbert about to lap his teammate Alessandro Nannini. It's only on lap 43. Nannini, he is being outperformed extremely outperformed by his rookie teammate, Johnny Herbert. You can see in the background, they're trying to make their way through a bit of traffic. Herbert making his way through. And race leader Patrese into the pits, so Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari is going to take the lead of this race. That will be Patrese's final stop in the race. In fact, yeah, that will be his second stop of all. Boutsen, his teammate, I'm pretty sure is on a one-stop strategy as Patrese rejoins in 2nd position, about 5 seconds clear of Nigel Mansell, who's in 3rd. And now Gerhard Berger boxes on the following lap, so that is going to relinquish the lead back to Riccardo Patrese. And that's Nigel Mansell rounding the final corner. He will also move past his teammate Gerhard Berger, though Mansell, I believe, still needs to box again in this race. And Mansell is actually getting chased down there by Thierry Boutsen, who moves up to third, who's just ahead of Nelson Piquet in fourth. So Berger's going to rejoin into this race in fifth position. That's Mansell under pressure from Boutsen as Piquet boxes in the background. That's Boutsen up to second place. Mansell shoveled down to third. As we reach lap 50, these are the standings in the race. Patrese leads his teammate Boutsen. Mansell in third place ahead of Berger, Piquet and Herbert in the points yet again. Palmer and Brundle, the two Brits, just outside the points. And with another British driver of Martin Donnelly in ninth place. Eddie Cheever, who's been in the wars today and has that penalty, of course, to serve at the end. He's in 10th position ahead of Alessandro Nannini, Maurizio Gugelmin, Bertrand Gachot, then it's Pierluigi Martini, Grillard and Christian Danner. 16 drivers left in the race. Gachot has the biggest penalty of all to serve, 25 seconds, which right now would put him behind Pierluigi Martini. And this is the battle for third place. It's Mansell versus Berger, and Mansell diving into the pits. And Berger staying out, which means he takes third position. That was a late call from Mansell to dive into the pits there, but it's worked out for the Ferrari team. The late pit stop now from Martin Brundle is going to push him outside the top 10. I assume that was a scheduled stop for the Briton. It means Martin Donnelly is up to 8th position. You can see Brundle rejoining in the background there, now being 2 laps down on race leader Riccardo Patrese. And Grillard's been involved in an incident, so we're going to see a replay here. He's being lapped by Eddie Cheever, and surely Cheever's not going to be involved in this one. He is! Oh my god, what is Eddie Cheever doing today? And that'll be another Stonewall penalty. You know what? I don't know, maybe he'll be disqualified at this rate. Grillard getting passed there by Christian Danner. He's now 16th and last of the running order. Christian Danner on Rial's debut for this season, currently not going to finish last. But here goes Grillard down the main straight to re-overtake the Rial and move his Ligier up into 15th. Right now, Mansell catching Piquet at a rate of knots. Mansell had a later pit stop than Piquet, so he's on fresher tyres. They're both fueled to the end, though, with less than 10 laps to go now. This is the battle for 4th position, and it's the closest fight we have on track. And Patrese had the unlikely lead of the championship after the first 2 rounds. And we thought, well, that was the last we were going to see of him at the top of the table. But I believe this victory will actually take him back to the top. Unbelievably. That's Johnny Herbert in 6th position. And that is... no! What? And my audible astonishment is because we're looking at a replay here of Riccardo Patrese, who is about to stop out on circuit and retire his Williams with 3 laps to go. The ultimate commentator's curse. I was just lauding his the praises on him there, and he was about to take the championship lead with the victory. And Patrese comes to a halt, and the Williams is out. It's going to give the lead to his teammate Boutsen. And Boutsen in his own battle now for the race lead between him and Gerhard Berger. Berger's been closing him down, and you can see Berger right behind him. Now the battle for third place will be between Piquet and Nigel Mansell. You really don't know where to look. It also means the battle for 5th place between Herbert and Jonathan Palmer right on his rear wing. And that's Berger up the inside into the Peraltada to take the lead of the race. What a brilliant move from the pole sitter. He slipped down the order at the start of the race, but he's worked his way back up, and now he has 3 laps to go to claim victory. And this is Palmer now sizing up a move on Johnny Herbert down towards the first corner. Does the Tyrrell have enough overspeed to go up the inside? He certainly does. And that'll be a net 5th place once they move past the stricken Williams of Riccardo Patrese. And that's Piquet trying to defend from Nigel Mansell, but Mansell up the inside to take what is now 3rd position in the race. A brilliant lap for Ferrari. And we might see an overtake here from Martin Brundle into the Peraltada as well. And that is for 9th place. That's on Alessandro Nannini. Brundle's chance at points, though, virtually gone by this stage. And after qualifying, we were expecting good things from the Ferrari team. We weren't expecting them to win the race, though. And that's Gerhard Berger rounding the Peraltada for the final time. He's going to cross the line to win the 1989 Mexican Grand Prix. And now a look at the race classification. Berger winning in a time of 1 hour and 25 minutes ahead of Thierry Boutsen in 3rd place. Mansell completes the podium with 2 drivers, Ferrari drivers, in the podium places. Piquet gets his first points of the season, and so does Palmer. And Herbert has scored points in every single race so far this year. Donnelly and Brundle 7th and 8th. Cheever relegated down to 9th with his penalties applied. Gugelmin 11th, Martini 12th. Gasho also losing 2 positions because of his 25-second time penalty for that incident he had with Franz Bermbach really early on. Alain Prost though out of the race. That's a huge one. Ayrton Senna as well. The 2 McLarens retiring here today. It's a McLaren double retirement, which really doesn't suit them in the championship battle. Boutsen and Patrese were fastest. They were first and second quickest in the race with the fastest laps. Boutsen did get the fastest lap overall. And what does that mean for the Drivers' Championship? Well, it means Prost and Mansell tied at the top with 15 points. Riccardo Patrese in 3rd place with his 2 second-place finishers. Then it's Berger with his win today, brings him to 4th ahead of Boutsen and Ayrton Senna. Eddie Cheever in 7th. Herbert 8th place, having scored points in every single race so far this year. PK, first points of the season, along with Jonathan Palmer's first points. And Derek Warwick 13th and last with a single point to his name. In the Constructors, it is Ferrari now leading ahead of McLaren, who are just a single point clear of Williams. Then it's Arrows, Benetton and Tyrrell. And we do have a new team scoring points. It's Lotus. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.